Every lathe needs a tool organizer. Let me show you the steps I took in order to build this one.
Almost forgot to record. So this is a piece of 2.5 by 2.5 angle iron with 1/8 inch wall that I put on the bandsaw with the sweet Deadman switch, the foot switch, and it's a swag off-road portaband table. I cannot recommend these things highly enough. Just awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this up, and that'll be my cross piece. So I'm going to tell you that that's not the most favorite cut I've ever made freehand on a bandsaw. That was that took some doing. I may have sacrificed 2 3/4 of an inch off the end of a 3/4 inch pipe clamp. Malleable black iron, not galvanized. Welding galvanized, bad. Black iron, yeah, just clean it. Bad. Now I could grab the torch and torch this here to bend it over and then weld it, but the forge is lit, so I'm just going to put it in the forge and then use that heat to bend it. So I know this is shocking, but I got a couple other welding projects going today, so I'm trying to do it all at the same time. I have these just tacked on, and I went ahead and I tacked on what will be my chuck holders, and it will sit just like that. So let me get this all welded, and then I'll start punching holes in it. Alright, so this part is done, at least the welding. I'm gonna tap those holes in, and if I had any delusions about being a pipe fitter and having those sorts of welds, those delusions are now gone. These are all drilled out now with the initial pilot holes. I'm going to go back and open these up to 1/4 inch, and then the tailstock accessory, like the live center and dead center and that sort of thing. I've got 4 of those holes that I'm going to open up to 3/4 of an inch. All the holes now bored and eased, so there's no sharp edges on back and front. So those are for the number 2 Morse taper in stock tooling, and then these will be for the quick change bit holders. There we go, and then those of course are for the chucks, the chuck keys. I need to actually run a file in there. That looks like I got a couple sharp edges on the inside. All right, well, let me degrease this and get some primer and a couple coats of paint on it. All right, I am in the basement, my underground layer, and I went ahead and degreased the entire piece, and then scrubbed it down with a sponge of denatured alcohol, and gonna let that rest for just a minute or 3, and then I'm going to give it a coat of primer, and hopefully my wife won't find out, because if she finds out that I am painting in the underground layer utility room, I might be a dead man. Alright, first layer of primer is on, nice and light. I'll hit it again. I'm going to let this dry for a couple hours here in the heat, and then I'll hit it again, especially here on this top side, before I put a coat of black on. Yep. She found out it was a bad situation. The first coat of rattle can black went on pretty well. Let that sit and cook, and then I'll put the second coat on before I top coat it with a satin clear coat. I have a little bit of 1.5 inch aluminum bar, 1/8 inch thickness, that I'm cutting off to make into the actual tool holder pieces. So I've got this little stop block here, and I'm just running them through the porta band sitting on a swag table. If you decide to do a similar project and you decide to grind those chamfers, which you should, don't try to file them, just grind them, make sure you use one of these, or a pair of locking pliers or something to hold the aluminum. Because I'm just going to tell you just firsthand that it gets real hot real quick. I burnt my finger. So yeah, make sure you're holding it with something besides your booger flickers. Good Lord, those got hot enough to brand my clamp. Look at that. Glad it wasn't my finger this time. I depleted my own internal hardware store, so I had to run to Home Depot to get some hardware for this. Yeah, I was just as shocked as you are. I haven't had to go to Home Depot to buy hardware in months. So, alright, time to restock. And so we begin. First fit is in. I've got just a tiny bit of a tolerance stack up after like the 8th one. It's only like a 1/16 of an inch, but you can see the bolt is moving just a little bit. Okay, maybe a lot bit with that last one. Well, damn it. I just realized that I put every one of these on backwards. So the tool should be down so that way you can see exactly what tool you're reaching for without having to step up on your toes. Go, oh, there it is. Let me swap these around. The tooling rack is complete and populated with everything from the tailstock tools to the cutting tools and knurler and boring bar and my chucks. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out.